Welcome back to the third Express video that will deal with pricing strategies and risk and uncertainty in decision making. Pricing strategies might include a variety of scenarios. Some of them or all of them could be familiar to you from real life. Why not? A cost plus strategy is just when a markup is added on a given cost base, calculated either on variable cost basis or full production cost on ABC or traditional costing, it doesn't matter. It's just a percentage added to cost base. Then market skimming is entering a market on a high price to catch customers willing and able to pay at that price. It's just like, collecting the skim of the market, the willing customers that are able to pay price. The opposite of it is penetration pricing, when you go at the low price in the market to get market share. Obviously, you must have different positions in these two scenarios in skimming and penetration pricing. In skimming, for example, the brand allows you to charge that high price, customers know you, while as in penetration pricing, you want to get yourself known. Promotional pricing, campaigns, for example, in using discounts. Perceived value pricing, plays on perception of value and what the market is willing to pay. Then product line pricing, when they sell one product cheaply and all the related other ones are more expensive. For example, home appliances can be like this. You buy a fridge, low price, and all the other ones then will be more expensive. Volume discount pricing, the bigger the order, the lower the price. This is just discounting. Discriminatory pricing, I think that's almost for everybody is known. It's like plane tickets, when it's sold in different times of different periods of the year, different price, depending on where you want to go. For example, plane tickets to seaside during the winter will be quite cheap. Product bundle pricing, then they combine products into one pack and pricing it overall. So for example, they sell one good sold product with one less good sold product, one less demanded product. So when people want to buy the demanded product, they'll buy also the other one. Complementary product pricing, that's typically refers to refills. All of us remember razor blades and staples and staplers and staples, or printers and cartridges. For example, printers are usually quite cheap, while cartridges can get very expensive. That's another example for you here with the make or buy decision. An automotive component producer that now buys car heaters and decides then to insource the operation because it gets more cheaper. Risk and uncertainty in decision making. Note the difference between risk and uncertainty. Risk is a quantification of a probability. If it's a quantification, it can be measured mathematically or statistically. So it's relating to objective probabilities. Whereas uncertainty is not capable of being quantified, so we don't know actually what's going to be the outcome. There are several outcomes. If I say the weather tomorrow might be sunny or cloudy, that's uncertainty. We don't know what's the probability related to each of them. If I say it's 50-50, then it's risk, because it's a 50% risk that the sun will not shine tomorrow and I cannot sell ice creams, for example. In terms of risk, we can calculate expected values for each of our scenarios. Then we can say assign a probability based on some kind of statistical or mathematical way, and we just multiply for each of the scenarios the outcome, the result of that scenario with the probability, and that's the then we add it up. It's the sum. That's the expected value. It's also called, if usually you'll see it in the book, like expected value, the sum of the probabilities multiplied by the outcome. Sensitivity analysis is just if you have a scenario where you want to decide something, you want to see what happens to the outcome of the project if one key variable is altered. For example, if you say, what if the price of the materials goes up by 50%? It's a what if analysis, if you want to call it like this. It's easier to remember. What if analysis, but you always only change one variable at a time. So variables are changed in turn, not all of them at one time. Okay, so just you ask, what if the product price goes up? What if labor market changes? But you only change one by one. Then sensitivities by scenario. This is the situation where several variables are changed simultaneously. You can only do this using computers. You cannot do it by hand, it's very complicated. It can get very complicated. It's something like, what if the price of the materials goes up by 50% and labor goes down by 25%? What will be the outcome of our project in that situation? So you can imagine that it's a quite complicated and intensive computation behind it. Another very interesting topic of your syllabus, maximax, maximin, and minimax regret. This is used usually in situation of uncertainty. There's no numerical probabilities assigned, but we want to look at the attitude of the decision maker towards uncertainty. So people can be, let's say, attracted by risk. Yeah, they can be maximax people who will seek profits no matter what happens. Maximin people will be basically the opposite one. They want to make sure they have a minimum profit. They're not seeking profits. They want to make profits, but not disregarding all the conditions. And minimax regretters are the people who are always regretting something. They want to minimize their regrets by taking the wrong decision. For example, if we take this the company situation, he can opt into strategy 1, 2, and 3, and then we have some outcomes A, B, and C. Going for the upside, the maximax people, they will always choose the best possible outcome. They want to maximize their profits no matter what happens. So looking at strategies individually, they will pick the highest figure always. So for strategy 1 it will be 60, the strategy 2 it will be 40, for strategy 3 it will be 55, and then they will pick the highest of the highest, and that will be 60, they will pick strategy 1. On the same scenario, we can do for maximin. These guys will look on the downside. They cannot go worse. They want to choose the scenario that makes, that ensures them the maximum of the minimums. Okay, so they'll pick the highest minimum. They don't want to go worse than the maximum of the minimum profits. So then they do the same. They'll pick the lowest profits on each scenario, and then they will choose the highest of the lowest, that is maximin, and then they'll choose strategy number 2. Right? While as minimax regret people, what they're going to do, they will calculate the regret for each of the outcomes possible. So they will choose basically the best scenario for each of the outcomes. I'm looking now like this. Yeah, they'll choose the best one, and then they'll calculate the regret. What if they don't take that particular option? Yeah, the regret if they don't take strategy 2 in outcome A will be 5, here will be 10, and that's exactly what's down here, exemplified for you. And then what they do based on this, they will look at each strategy and they will pick the lowest of the regrets. The maximum regret in case of strategy 1 is 5, in case of strategy 2 is 20, and in case of strategy 3 is 15. So they'll pick the minimum, that is minimax regret. Further on in our next video, we are going to deal with the next section of your syllabus, budgeting.